Hello and welcome to Inside Leominster. My name is Dean Mazzarola, Mayor for the City of Leominster, and yes, we're live tonight. We've been out on the road most of the time lately, but we're back in studio tonight, and the phone number hasn't changed. It's 978-537-7760, extension 3. We are streaming out through, I don't know if it's on Facebook or the website, but go to leominster.tv. There's a little place you can click on and watch, and streaming out all over the world. So anyway, tonight we have a busy show, and we're going to head right to the phones to see if, let's see, what do they call that place? If Cherry Valley Art is there.
Yes, we are.
So they call it Cherry Hill, right?
Yes, they do.
But you live on the downslope, so that's really Cherry Valley.
Yes, I do.
See?
Well, I'll tell you, this world's changing, isn't it? Between the weather and the past 2 weeks, we've been quite busy going to Framingham. My grandson went from Cub Scouts to Boy Scouts.
Wow, neat. Tell him to stick with it.
Yeah, and he does robotics, and we went to Think for that. And anyway, I decided when I left to come home, I'm going to go through Maynard, where I started working for Digital in '68. And much to my surprise and chagrin, I went by where I worked at the mill, and I couldn't believe the changes there.
Oh, big time.
But Parker Street, which had PK 1, 2, and 3, gigantic admin and sales buildings, gone.
Gone, yep.
They're building apartment houses, and they're going to put in a market. I mean, I'm talking a space the size of Searstown.
Oh, yeah.
Humongous, all gone, flat. Yep. I'm saying, and then I read about robotics in retail, how that's really beginning to change things. I mean, now you go into just about any store or box store for household goods and stuff, they got self-checkouts. Those are jobs that are going away, and you check yourself out. Yeah,
but now those jobs are converting over to, I forget what store I was in. I think it was like a Whole Foods kind of thing. They had 16 to 20 different people picking orders now. So people
to fill.
So they left
like Hannaford does.
Right. So they left the register, but they switched over to something else, right?
Working another end.
Yeah.
But I think the future's coming. I think the only people you're going to see in a store are the ones that are working there. I mean, not working there, but they won't even be buying it. Everything's online. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, but
you can order groceries online now. You can order. I could not find a hinge for my bathroom vanity door.
Right.
I mean, I looked everywhere, even online. So I called my daughter up, and I gave her the numbers off the old one. She calls me back, says, "Dad, you'll have it in 3 days." I said, "How did you find it?"
Right.
Amazon.
Right.
They shipped it right out, and guess what? It was the right one.
Yeah. Well, for those kinds of things, those obscure things, the hard things to find, that's going to happen. But, I was reading this article the other day, and they were saying despite the fact that everybody thinks everything is purchased offline, it's still just a small percentage of items are purchased online.
It's true. The stores, retail, I've been getting ready for golf season, and they're packed. I mean, not just the places for golf.
Right,
A lot of people are out shopping.
It's just a small, it is increasing.
I think the people that are doing the online stuff are working full-time or convenient items or something they need that they can't find, like me.
So the buzzword now is omni-retail. So what they're saying is that if I'm in the mood to go shopping, I'm going to go shopping. I want a place to go shopping. If you're not there, I'm going to go somewhere else. But if I'm busy and I want to buy something online, I want to buy it online, have it delivered to my house. But maybe I want to go to the store and they didn't have my size. So out of 5 things I bought, maybe they didn't have one. So then they say, you know what? We'll either ship it back to the store or we'll ship it to you. So what I think they're moving towards is whatever the give as many options to the customer as they want, because you don't want to lose the sale. And then whatever mood you're in as the retailer, that's what you'll do, right?
Yep. But it's a fun time.
Sure, it's interesting.
Change is fun.
Interesting
times. It is, and I can't wait to start hitting the ball come Monday.
Well, let's make us proud up there in Gardner.
Been busy. All the doctors had done but 1.5 to go. won yesterday. I got my shot with Jones. I'm ready for golf now. And today I had my checkup with Kamens. That's good. We're all good to go.
Ready to rock and roll.
Ready to rock and roll. So have a good show. We'll talk to you next week or whenever.
All right. Hey,
Take care.
get up to Cherry Hill there.
Grandson's sleeping over this weekend, and Papa, the ice cream stand open yet? Yes, it is. Oh, good, Papa. So I'll go up there and we'll have fun.
Even if it's snowing, you still have fun.
You better believe it.
Okay.
Take
Thanks,
care.
Art.
Bye-bye.
Take care. 978-537-7760 is the number to call. And I was saying on the way in that I was coming from Central Street, and the train doesn't go through as many times as it used to, and you forget sometimes that you have to kind of plan ahead. And lo and behold, those railroad crossing arms went down just as I was approaching. And then, of course, the train had to pass by it, and then they switched the track and then go back, and then they move forward. Anyway, I just made it to the show tonight. So forgot those days, the old days when that train used to come through a couple times a day, actually. And now just basically Tuesdays and Thursdays, and whether or not that'll increase in the amount of times it comes is unknown at this point, although probably will come more times a week, and will go up as far as, say, Willard Street and AIS Company. But yeah, so I just forgot those days. Anyway, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back. And we're back here at Inside Leominster, busy show. There's Mr. Pemerini playing down at Sunrise Assisted Living, and a very familiar song. We'll be playing more of it very soon as Easter approaches. Anyway, coming up next, I like how they put this, Ricky. They put Ricky Rosario and We Love You Foundation. They put you at the top. I just want you to know that. Look at, they give you a big spot. Welcome to the show, Joseph Seymour, Brenda Garcia, Ricky Rosario. Again, they put you in twice, and Maria Hernandez. So welcome to the show.
Yeah,
Thank
you for having
And
us.
so I don't know how to explain. Here's a couple of adjectives I could probably use. Exciting, enthusiastic, giving. I could go right down the line, right?
Yeah.
But the funnest group of people that you'll ever meet. And you'll think that this is some sort of a stage show, but it's not. They really are. And they attract other people like themselves. And so here they are from We Love You Foundation. So who's going to start? Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having
And
us.
Thank you.
who wants to explain We Love You Foundation? Because it's got a really neat story to it.
Sure, I guess I could explain.
Sure.
So the We Love You Foundation actually had a very humble beginning. Our chairwoman, Jang-gil Ja, in South Korea, she actually was doing volunteer work by herself. And so she was going out into the community, helping those in need, helping prepare food for those who didn't have any food, helping farmers produce their crops. And just out of the selflessness of her good deeds, other people started to follow. And they decided, why don't we make a foundation for you? You're working so hard. Let's start this foundation so that we can follow your example of selflessness and sacrifice. And it started as a New Life Foundation, and then in 2011, it was revitalized as the We Love You Foundation, the International We Love You Foundation.
And it is international. It's
Yes,
amazing.
it's very international. We're in over 60 different countries
Is
now.
it 60?
Yeah,
Wow.
over 60.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And there's something really sort of catchy about this group, about sort of volunteering. And let me just preface all this by saying that lots of times people will come into our office or they'll call us and contact and say, we want to do this. And sometimes we're sort of like, well, that's not like really a huge need right now, but if you want to do it, that's fine. But We Love You Foundation starts off with, this is who we are, this is what we're about. What projects can we do, or how can we help the community? Which is a really neat thing, and so I don't know how many projects have you done so far for us, 4 or 6 or 8 or whatever. But that's a neat thing for people to come in and say, so how can we help you,
Yeah.
or how can we help the city? And then there's always sort of that laundry list of things that we're trying to get done or needs, and then on the other ones are usually, and you never want to turn help away, right?
Right,
No matter
right,
what
right.
happens, you're just so happy that people are willing to step up.
Yeah.
So the group that we've seen here come from all over.
Oh, yeah.
And they're part of a chapter or a division
Right.
of We Love You Foundation.
Yeah, we have chapters in New England, New York, New Jersey, Maryland, all up and down the East Coast. So we're part of the We Love You Foundation East Coast region. So we have hundreds of volunteers, and even, as you know, we have events where everybody comes together, like the Walkathon last summer,
Right.
which you're able to be a part of, and we all come together for causes that need help, that are a realistic need in our communities.
Now,
Yeah.
the times that We Love You Foundation has come to Leominster, the volunteers come from everywhere, from
Yeah.
all walks of life.
Oh, yeah.
It's very diverse.
Yep.
And they have this thing about they're all happy, and they all get along, and they're always laughing and
Yeah.
happy. There's something catchy about the whole thing, right? I mean, is it?
Yeah, I think, the real heart of everything is that everyone comes together with a mind of consideration. Like you said, it's not about what I want to do this for you, but thinking like, oh, what do you need? And so when we think about one another, it's easy to share love, and that way we can be happy
That's a good
together.
way to put it. No, that's a really good way. But you guys have fun. And
Definitely.
it's
We
almost
do.
like everybody's known each other their whole life.
It's like we're a big family.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, where's the camera? This is some sort of a show.
It's like too good to be true, like all different backgrounds, but we all have the same mind, we're walking the same path that we want to fulfill for our neighbors.
And I want to emphasize, for some people, sometimes it's hard. Different people are wired differently to sort of supplant themselves into the middle of a new group where people don't know where they might not know anybody. And I'm telling you firsthand that this is the perfect group to get involved with, because you're not going to have any trouble meeting anybody, talking to anybody. You're going to think,
No.
do I know these people, right? I mean, geez, they make me feel like I've known them. They make me feel welcomed. And that's another part of what happens. And it's consideration, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
making people feel welcome. How would you feel if you walked into a group where there's 100 people and maybe you didn't know everybody that was there?
Right.
So that part's another key part, is making people feel part of it, included, right? I mean, that's one of the key parts of We Love You Foundation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How'd you get involved?
So I got involved all the way in the Dominican Republic.
Did you really?
Yes,
That was your
yes.
first?
Yes.
Are you serious? You guys been hiding this story from me.
yeah.
You've been hiding this story from me.
Yeah, so the We Love You Foundation, it is international. So over there we started with social welfare and disaster relief. But coming back to the U.S., then I joined almost 4 years ago and
Nice.
started doing the community services here through the We Love You Foundation. So it's really, really amazing.
So tell people that might be watching how they can get involved, or where they find more information if they want to find out more about the organization and then find out how maybe, after they look through the website or whatever, and the Facebook page, maybe they're interested in signing up. So you don't have to make every event, right?
No.
And people travel, and it's one of those, here are the list of events that we're going to be doing, or, and you can make it or you can't, right? But, and that's the nice part of it, right?
Right, exactly. So our website, it's weloveyouusa.org. And on there you can see all of our past events. We've had walkathons, we've had cleanups, book drives. And so whatever, kind of feeds your interest, you can look for that on our website. And we also post our upcoming events that you can get involved in, so you can know ahead of time if it fits with your schedule. And we also have a contact page and a sign-up page. So just like you said, you're not like chained to do a certain amount of
Right.
activities. It's whatever you're available for. You want to come out and support, then we welcome everybody.
And I felt bad. Last year we had them at Fournier Field on the hottest day of the summer. And they moved, I don't know, piles, I mean truckloads of bark mulch to pretty up the front of Fournier Park, which it was a beautiful job. But it was like the hottest day. I told Ricky, I said, I felt so bad for you guys. And, but what a nice job they did. And I try to slow them. I'm like, you know what? We can get the rest with the tractor. We'll come down, we'll get the guy. No, we'll finish up. And they moved everything with like 30-gallon barrels. They'd fill them up, drag them over. Couldn't stop them. They were excited about what they were doing.
Well, we're having another cleanup on April 28th. So it's going to be in Blackstone and Franklin Squares in the south end of Boston. And so it'll be a little bit cooler this time around.
Guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
Although you never know, let me tell you.
With the weather these days, you never know.
Never know.
Exactly.
But maybe that'll, maybe just some more people will want to come by and volunteer if it's not too hot. So.
And there are local members that are local, that live locally. So if you're interested and you want to make a connection, you can either call my office and we'll make the connection for you. Or you can go through the website or whatever and sign up that way. But if you want to kind of team up with somebody in a buddy system where you're a little bit worried about going to the first event, maybe not knowing everybody, then you can meet somebody locally, right? And
Right.
sort of team up with them and get to that next event. But
Exactly.
they do wonders. We're going to host them as part of our mayor's meeting. All the mayors from Massachusetts are coming out in October, so we're giving Ricky and crew a lot of time to get ready for this. And so we really want to feature them so that more, creating that awareness factor where more of the mayors across the state know about this. Because, as I said, it's seldom that people come through the door and say, so how can we help you? It's like, what? Like, what? And we have a lot of volunteer groups in the city, and we're blessed with that. But in a lot of parts of the state, maybe they don't have that as much as we do, and this is a great organization. We want to see more of those
For sure.
blue shirts, and right? We had fun down in Washington. That was a hot day.
That was.
It was very hot. It was very
It
hot.
was a good day, though.
But you
was
held
fun.
up so well.
Yeah.
I've seen you in the videos. You were dancing.
We're moving to the groove. We had to get anybody to the finish line. We had a lot of fun. Met a whole lot of new people. And you know what was really interesting? My Facebook page the next day, from all over the world, from everywhere.
Wow.
They're all your members, They were just from all over the place. They must have saw a video or something on it. So 978-537-7770 is the number to call here at Inside Leominster if you have any questions. Again, offline, if you have any questions at all, you could call our office. We'd be glad to steer you in the right direction. But it's a great organization. You meet some great people, and I give it 5 stars.
Wow.
You can only give 5. Like hotels, you can only give 5 stars. I give
Very
it 5
appreciative
stars.
of that.
And we're appreciative of the projects that you've done in the community. Those are like everything with you is extreme. Remember the rainstorm we had down there? So they picked a day to help us at Barrett Park.
I remember.
Pouring, just pouring. I went down there and like feeling bad. They're all smiling and laughing, and moving trees and stumps. We're creating those trail areas and all that. And I don't know how it must have been 80 people that showed up for that. So you can tell that this is a group that really helps to give you that sense that you're really contributing. Because a lot of members could have stayed home that day and said, I got to go somewhere, right? And they didn't. Everybody that I think said they were going to show up, showed up. And that shows you the commitment, and you get something back in return, right? I mean, you're helping. Let's talk about the program that provided lights Let's talk about that.
The Bright Haiti project.
That was a cool project.
Yeah. So that was phase one, which we ended with the walkathon last year, and we were able to supply the vocational students in Haiti with solar lamps because over in Haiti, there's so many problems with the electrical plants. It powers on and off every day.
Yeah.
So these students, the only way they can get their homework done is if they have electricity. Half the time they don't. So these solar lamps allow them to be able to do their homework at times when at other times they weren't able to.
Right.
And so that they can further their careers in whatever direction that they want to go in. And it's been very successful. So now we want to start phase two, in which we can give them different kinds of school supplies. We want to be able to supply them with computers, even solar panels for the schools, so that if they lose power, then they can hook up to the solar panel, no problem, and continue whatever they want to do, to further their education.
Huh? That's great. We just think of it, here we lose electricity for an hour or two.
Yeah,
there,
freak
it's
out.
so inconsistent.
Yeah.
It could be days before or weeks before they get it back.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So that's why it's so important, and that's why this summer we're having another walkathon, the second New Life Family Walkathon in the East Coast. This time it's going to be in Liberty State Park in Jersey City.
Wow.
So a little bit closer this time. Not as much of a hike to Washington, D.C.
Right.
So that's why we'd love for you to come by again this year.
Are you kidding me? I would if invited, I will attend.
you're
That was a
definitely
lot of
invited.
fun.
Yeah.
Halfway through, man, we got halfway through, and I said, hey, there was some ladies behind us. I'm like, anybody know how to do a backflip? Like 7 ladies came flying out. I started doing backflip one after another.
Yeah.
Just the whole time, we just had a great time.
We have a lot of talented members, so
Very
everyone comes
talented.
together and uses their talents.
It's amazing, and
Yeah.
from all walks of life,
Right.
people with different educational backgrounds, different. Everybody does something different for a living.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
incredible. Maybe we could start a company. Well, all those people just
Everyone
build
has
their
a
own
different
company.
niche.
Yeah, everybody's got something they bring to the table.
Yeah.
And that's interesting that you say that, because something that we see and we appreciate from you individually is that you have a platform, and even hosting us and allowing us to come, we're so thankful, and that's why we actually want to congratulate you and say thank you for 25 years. I heard this year,
Yes.
2019.
Every day's been fun. I never know what the day's
Celebrating every day, right?
I never know what's going to happen, but that's just that's part of what I like, I guess, right?
Yeah.
It's
Year-long
not predictable.
celebration.
It's every day is like,
Yeah.
this is different.
But the opportunity that we have, that you got to meet us, and so like you said, we're from all different walks of life. And now people who watch you also get the opportunity to hear about us, and
Right.
from your own perspective, you get to share with them. These people have something good, and you from your like, how did you feel when you first met us?
I know these people.
There you
no,
go.
I mean, honestly, like every single person, I thought, how do they do this? Like, how do they attract? But obviously, when you get there, you feel comfortable, and everybody's happy and friendly. Nobody's got an agenda. It's all one team, right? It's a team
Right.
effort.
Definitely.
Right.
And everybody, it just makes you feel like, because sometimes people get uptight about, some people introverts,
Right.
but not in this situation. It just all of a sudden you become an extrovert, right? Because you feel, right, when you meet people feel welcomed, you're
Yeah.
friendly,
And
just
we're all,
start chatting
we're all
with them.
friends. Like, we feel like we're one big family.
I know,
Right.
that's what I'm
why-
saying. I was like,
yeah.
what?
Well,
This
that's
is-
what it's about, is
everyone's
becoming
open.
a global family, like a global village. And so if we all have that mind that this earth belongs to us all and we should take care of it together, then that's why we can work happily,
Remember in Home Alone when he goes to church and there's the old guy that's on the right-hand side, he's got the beard, and he looks really like, he thinks he's like a murderer or something, remember? And then at the end, he ends up talking to him, and he's not at all. He's a really friendly, nice guy. But we all
Right.
do that. We all
Right.
kind of like, you meet somebody for the first time. We don't even know who they are. We're already drawing
Right.
conclusions, right? But when you get into this kind of an atmosphere, you can just guarantee there's none of that going on. Everybody's happy and laughing. It's like, wow, this is unreal. and it's and every time. And the other thing is, every event, I keep saying, new people, but same people, and I'm like, hey, I know them, right? I know them. Like Ricky comes to my office. Ricky's here, right? It's kind of cool.
Well, for this cleanup we're having on the 28th, we're actually having volunteers come from New Hampshire, from Vermont, from Connecticut.
Wow.
So everybody, and of course from the greater Boston area, going to be coming together for this cleanup. So we're expecting about 80 volunteers.
Wow,
for this
I bet you'll
cleanup.
have more than that. That's exciting.
We're hoping for
Good
even
for
more
you.
than that. Yeah.
And we're going to line you up with some more projects too.
Oh, that'd be fantastic.
We're working on
Definitely.
it. We got to get you back here. But thank you for everything you do. It's amazing, and it's fun. It's a good group, so if you're interested in joining, there's no age requirement or anything, right? And it's
Yes, for everybody,
it's for
everybody.
everybody to
Yeah,
come
everyone
down.
wants to volunteer.
Everybody can
Yeah.
be helpful in some way. It's a team effort, and in front of Fournier Field, it's got to be 100, 200 feet wide down there, slot, and they get all the bach mulch spread for us. and there are things that sometimes we can't get to. They're always on the list, but we can never seem to get them. And Fournier Park is a park where there's a water park, a football field, softball, playground. And so a lot of people use it. But sometimes, you know, that curb appeal, you know, when you first go in, and we never were able to get it done. And then on the hottest day of the summer, and all we had to do was give them pizza and water.
That's
That
enough
was it.
motivation. That's it. That's all we need.
And I'm like, why don't we quit? Because it was like high noon. And I'm like, why don't we'll just, I said to Judy Sumner, the director, I said, why don't we just let them go jump in the water park or something? You know, it's hot out here. She said, no, they just wanted to finish. No, we only got 40 more yards to move here. We'll be done in a little while. And so I can't thank you enough. And I really want to urge people to get to, you know, if you have a son or a daughter or a grandson, granddaughter, somebody that you think might benefit from this. Almost everybody can benefit from this. Get a hold of them. Go to the website. Go to the Facebook page, and find out more about them. I money back guarantee. I guarantee you won't be disappointed. Right, Ricky?
100%.
100%. And again, we can connect you with somebody local if you want to, you know, sort of, you know, meet with them, and maybe the first time you go, you hook up with them. And,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
you won't
for
have any
sure.
trouble. I mean, everybody,
Yeah.
it's like, I know them. I know them. Right?
We always have our blue shirts on, so we'll stand
Right.
out. You can point us out.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
How many members total across the world?
Across the world, I want to say it's in the thousands. Maybe about like 50,000, something like that.
That's amazing. What
Yeah.
incredible. Very organized and just incredible. I mean, even putting on that walkout in D.C. was
Oh, yeah.
incredibly organized. Except for I was doing it live, Facebook, back home here, so people could see it.
Oh, yeah.
And when the young lady was singing the Star Spangled Banner, it cut me out, because that's what happens here if we play any music.
Okay.
YouTube or whatever, Facebook cuts you out. Carl, why does it do that anyway? Is it royalties or something that they do this for? I wasn't sure.
They do it for, you know, copyright
Yeah,
issues
infringement.
on
Okay.
Facebook.
So I'm like,
Just
the
in
national
case, right?
anthem?
We all have the right to. We all have the right to the national
Francis
anthem,
Scott
right?
Key would get mad.
I guess. And so it cut her off until the song was over, and then it put me back on again.
Wow.
Isn't that neat? And people are like, why'd you cut out the...
It's like, what are
They
you,
were watching.
unpatriotic or something?
They were watching it.
Disclaimer, it wasn't me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
right.
no, it cut me
Yeah.
out, and then later on I could see people texting me, and you know, as they can post on Facebook, you can see it, and they're like, why'd you cut that part out? I'm like, oh no, they cut me out. I'm like, why? It's the national anthem, right?
Yeah.
So, do you have a little song you want to share tonight?
A little something.
Do we have the song?
Of course, you got your jingle.
I think I know who you guys know. You guys know.
Okay, let's
Ready?
do it.
1, 2, 3.
We love you. We love you. We love you.
Wow.
You've got a little jingle.
We actually have a little gift for you as well.
A gift?
Yes.
Yes.
We have this just specifically for you.
Come on. This is cool. You know you're wearing Leominster High colors, right?
Are we?
Yeah.
Blue Devils color.
Oh, it was all planned out.
Let's see. Oh my word! You guys got to zoom in on this one. Who wants to zoom in? So this is where Thank you.
Oh,
this is
of
awesome.
course.
I didn't have
It's
a
our
whole lot of
pleasure.
pictures from that day.
No?
So no, I don't know.
You
So,
can put this right on your desk.
Look at how cool that was. Like, I got to say, standing in front of the Capitol that day with everybody that was there, that was probably one of the most exciting days of my life.
Wow.
I'm serious. That was like, you know, how many times do you get to, right? You know, city of 50,000 people, you know, you're mayor of the city, and you get asked to come and, you know, speak at an event like this, and you turn around, there's the Capitol.
There's the Capitol right there,
And then
yeah.
thousands of blue shirts, every ethnic descent. I mean, how many times does something like that happen? There
Right.
you are. Wow, man, goosebumps on top of goosebumps, right? I mean, it was really
Very special.
special for me. I was like, wow, this is like once in a lifetime.
Yeah, it's definitely really special. And to be honest, even on a platform like that or something as, hometown as a park here in Leominster, it always feels special and it always feels exciting. But you're always welcome, and so we hope that you can also
Yes.
come to our
Are you kidding
April
me?
28th event.
And they had every military organization was there. And,
That's right.
And then you had little groups off to the side that were singing and cheering everybody along, because it was a hot day that day too.
Oh, yeah.
There's something about the heat with you guys, something about extreme weather. Like
Well, it's
torrential
year-round,
rain.
really.
Make it excited.
It was hot that day. But they were so well organized. They had water stations, and it was just really remarkable day. And so everybody you met was your friend, right?
Yeah.
That's just
Exactly.
incredible. I can't say enough about it. I think people think I'm getting paid to post this. Well, anyway, we love you, Foundation. We love you. Thanks for everything you do. We'll be seeing you soon, and we'll have you on as many times. We're going to try to get some of the college administrators together so that we can sit down with them and try to get, spread the word. Because
Okay.
I think this is a generation of people who want to help, but not everybody finds, they're looking for that spot.
Right.
And I really get excited about this because I really do think this is the spot for a whole lot of people. And I think to myself, if I can just connect them together, and this is one way to do it, we'll certainly do
That'd be
it.
great. We're very thankful that you allow us this platform. And
Thank you.
Thank
Like
you
I
so
said,
much.
this was a special day, and
Now you can put it on your desk.
There you go.
we proudly
Preview.
display. All right, we're going to take a shot. Did I forget anything?
Well, there's some other little goodies in there
here?
too.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's more?
Yep.
Definitely.
Little trinkets and stuff like that.
All right, let me see. I don't want to break anything.
You won't.
Let's see. All right, let's see. Oh, okay. Look at that. Oh, cool. You guys got the best stuff. Huh?
Little light bulb.
Does that open up to a light? Help me out here.
Little
button
button
Look
there.
at
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Oh, man. I'm like Mr. Gadget over here.
In case you drop something in the car, trying to find it on the floor.
That's me every night, trying to find my key to the house. Look at that. How cool. Thank you. Anything else that I missed in here?
I think that should be about it. And of course the bag.
Anything else that we forgot? I don't want to cut you off.
One thing that I'd like to mention is recently we were actually became former associates with the United Nations, and we're working together now with the United Nations.
That's big.
Yeah, it's really big. It happened at the end of December 2018, and so now we're working together with the UN to accomplish their SDGs, which are the Sustainable Development Goals. And so it's a group of 17 different goals, and it was put together in 2015 to pretty much end poverty by 2030 around the world. So there's different kinds of volunteer activities. We have cleanups on land, cleanups in the water. There's quality education. There's gender equality, nonviolent activities. So all these kinds of things that we're working towards bringing the world together as a global village. And so on the April 28th cleanup, we're going to have some panels on display showing all these UN SDGs. After the cleanup ends around like 1 o'clock, we'll have some activities so the whole community can come out. There'll be games for kids to play, some face painting and stuff like that,
nice.
and spreading awareness about the UN SDGs as well.
Well, they hooked up with the right organization, right? I mean, seriously, if they're ever going to achieve those goals, they hooked up with all the right people.
Well, all our goals, we realize it aligns perfectly.
Yep.
So it's like it was a no-brainer. So we're really looking forward to more events and more activities so that we hope more people can join in with us.
You're going to have a little thing put on, little embroidering on the side. UN.
Yeah, no,
Nations,
that's a good idea.
Well, thank you. Good to see you all.
Thank you.
Stay put for a minute, and we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back here at Inside Leominster, 978-537-7760. That's the number to call. And We Love You Foundation. Be right back.
April 14th, 1975, Leominster City Council adopts the motto, "We can, we must, we will be free." Mary, do you want to add anything to that?
I do. You know, in 1766, Leominster was a village of 600, ruled by King George III of England. On March 3rd of that year, the Town Fathers wrote an address and sent it to the people of Boston in answer to what they felt were unjust laws of the British Parliament against the colonies. The closing words of that address were, "We must, we can, and we will be free." Then, about 200 years later, on April 14th, 1975, these 9 words became the official motto for the city of Leominster. Mrs. Holly von Eigen was a teacher. She and her children wrote a poem that was later set to music. Ron and I are going to read the poem.
We must, we can, and will be free. We must preserve our liberty. Our fathers died to make it so, and we must never let it go.
The stars and stripes must forever fly and wave ever bright against the sky. A really special freedom team, they symbolize the American dream.
This flag should fly day to day, not just only for today. Let freedom ring and be the way of life in the great USA. To keep it so, we all must care, and everyone must do its share. The precious right is ours, and we must, we can, and we will be free. Thank you.
Success.
Out there. 978-537-7760 is the number to call here at Inside Leominster. Donata Martin is here. She's the Chief Executive Officer of the Boys and Girls Club in Leominster-Fitchburg. Gardner now?
And
Are you
Gardner.
doing Gardner now?
Yes, we do.
So how this all started, and it's sort of a unique story, is it was at a time when we were really trying to keep kids busy. They had the DARE program, and just, communities were doing curfews, and we were really trying to keep kids busy. And we were just starting to ramp up after-school activities. We started after-school program in the schools, before and after. We were trying to keep the gymnasiums open at night at the schools. We were anything. The rec department went from 10 employees, and then we expanded out to 100 during the summer. We were running summer programs. We really, we did a health study in the area, and one of the things that came up is kids really wanted adult-led events. They organized, structured events, and they craved it. They wanted some structure. They wanted parents to be involved, despite what we hear. Kids don't want parents around. So we started looking around. We talked to the chapter Boys and Girls Club in Worcester, and they said, "Well, we got to find a location." And we went to a lot of places, and some places people were a little bit uneasy about having us come there. I don't know what they were thinking, but so we went to a couple of different places. Finally, we went to the Veteran Center, and there's 2 floors to the Veteran Center, and we had asked the veterans, could you let us, could we use this facility, share it with you? We wanted to start off the Boys and Girls Club of America. And they had a little meeting. Next morning, I got a phone call right away. Sure, we were glad to help. So I said, just till we can get this thing going, because couldn't find a place to start. And so so we had an affiliation with the Worcester's Boys and Girls Club. And we started, what was the guy's name, Marshall or something?
Yes,
I'm trying to think of it
Marshall.
again. Marshall was the guy. He was a perfect guy to start off. And we had 6 or 7 kids that used to come to the Veterans Center. And I'll tell you, I never saw anything grow so fast. And sometimes you're doing something and it comes more difficult than you think. And the second people heard it was going to be a Boys and Girls Club, so many people just offered to help. People offered to be on everybody I asked to be on the board at the time. Glenn Lawrence, that's his brother, Bruce Lawrence. Captain Beazall at the police department, every single person I asked to be on, as the board of directors, the steering committee, said yes. And it went from 6 to 7 kids to 20 to 30. The veterans would be there and they'd come and help. And I never saw an organization move so fast until that point where they were using both floors. And we kind of have everything on wheels because when the veterans needed it, the agreement was we need to wheel everything, tuck it away, put it in a closet, they could use it, and then we put it all back out later. And now this organization has just really grown.
We have.
From Leominster Veteran Center to the old Julie Country Day School, from being just Leominster to then Fitchburg at Fitchburg State for a while. I don't know if they still offer it there, but
No.
and then joined together, and then now Gardner.
Right.
Unbelievable.
It is.
It's just incredible.
It
And we were
is.
so happy because I don't think we've ever had a Boys and Girls Club in Leominster. I think it was the YMCA at one time. So this is the first time that we had it. And now, tell us about the organization. Tell us how big this thing's grown.
Yeah, it's pretty big. So we have, over 600 children registered. An average
We
daily
started with
of
6, now it's 600.
600. We have an average daily attendance of about 350
Wow.
children and
That's
an afternoon there in Leominster. In Gardner, we're up to like 30, 35
Yeah,
kids
we're like we
average
were. We're just
daily
starting
attendance.
out.
Exactly. So, and it's really growing in Gardner. And here we continue to grow. So, rooms sometimes, or, we're shifting kids around, and it's great that we have outside space because
Right.
then we can have some of them outside.
But you have everything in there, from music to 3D printing to everything.
To
you could ever-
robotics, to
But
environmental
Aren't
science.
you amazed at how willing people are to help? Like when they hear that, maybe they had an affiliation with one in the hometown that they grew up in. But how willing people really are
To volunteer.
Yeah, to
they
help out.
really are. We have the schools there volunteering. We have just individuals from the community volunteering. We have a great pickleball program
I heard.
going on.
Watch out for them
during the week.
seniors because they're deceiving.
During
They're
the
pretty
week.
good at it. I
Okay.
wouldn't challenge
They're
them.
good. They're good. And so they're volunteering as well.
Mm.
So, there are just so many different people in the community that want to help children, bring them along, educate them. There's some old things like sewing and
Right.
crocheting,
Sure.
along with all of the technical pieces that we teach in beekeeping and all of that, and gardening as
If
well.
you did it in your lifetime at some point, it's probably interesting to these kids.
It is.
Even vinyl records are back. I mean, all these things that, because they are interesting.
They are.
Yeah.
They really are. So we, and every year we have our science festival, which
That's
is
what
coming
you're
up.
plugging tonight, yeah. That's coming up this weekend.
Coming up this weekend.
This weekend, Saturday.
And this year we have a chalk artist.
I
a
saw that in the
3D
Champion today. They had a big article about it.
Did they?
Yes, in
Yes.
the Champion. This is the best
He
chalk
is.
artist in the world.
He is, and he's a Boys and Girls Club alum.
Really?
California. He grew up in the club
How
in
cool.
California.
He's
Yes.
good. I mean, the picture they had in the Champion was like three-dimensional.
It is. It is. And so the kids started, there were a number of teens that started from a number of schools we recruited in the area, along with members at the club, and they're learning how to do this. And so they started the other day. They're catching on quickly, and it's all math and science,
yeah.
and they're the
Proportion,
ones,
right?
proportion,
Yeah.
perspective. They're using rulers and compasses, and they have that paper that you got to use, in school
Like
with the little
tracing
blocks,
paper?
with the
Oh,
little
yeah,
blocks.
yeah.
So they're using all of
Million
that.
little blocks that
Yes,
big.
yes. So they're using all of that, and they're having the best time. And so they're starting the project that we'll have finished on Saturday, or they'll finish on Saturday.
Oh, they're already working on it.
Yes, with the artist. And
How fun.
It's going to be great.
So this will be at the Boys and Girls Club. It's the 6th annual Central Mass Science Fair. It's this. So if you're watching the show next week, this isn't going to help you. But Saturday, April 13th, 10 to 3 o'clock, and the address, if you don't know, is 365 Lindell Ave in Leominster. And then you can always check while you're there to find out how to sign up your son or daughter or whoever it is that you might be caretaker for. And this is an affiliation with the Cambridge Science Festival. CambridgeScienceFestival.org.
Yes.
This is going to be fun. I'll be up there. I'm not sure which time.
Oh, I hope
But
so.
sit tight. I got to do these things real quick because Wendy works so hard putting these things together that if I don't do them, I'll be in trouble tomorrow morning. So these are pictures of the week. These are
Yes.
so you'll be on it next week because we'll be there. Let's start with pictures of the week. There we are. Did I go too far? All right. There we are. The Chamber Economic Development Breakfast. They do this every year. And full crowd. And they sort of bring in a Federal Reserve guy and talk about sort of Fidelity Bank sponsors this, but they also poll customers, people in the area, about how they're feeling about the economy. And it's about an hour and a half, 2 hours, but it's great information. It gives you a sense of how consumers are feeling, businesses, and then the Federal Reserve talks about, the interest rate and that kind of thing.
Right.
And there we are, Light It Up Blue. That's our day of our friends from Samoset School from the Life Skills program came down, and we have pizza every year. It's tradition for us, and some good desserts. And then we go over to the fire department and the library, and I think the big thing they like the most is they go downstairs to the health department where they have all kinds of insects. I stay away from that stuff. But anyway, let's see if we can find another. So there we are. We're having a little lunch. Great kids. I'll tell you, we get excited about having them at City Hall every year. So well behaved, and they all get along so good, and they're kind to each other. And there we are. That's where they are downstairs looking at bugs. And they continue to say it's their favorite part of the trip to city government. There we are at the fire station, and got a chance to look at some of the equipment and talk to some of the firefighters. And I think the firefighters had as much fun as they did. And work continues. That's the rear entrance of the central fire station, and putting a little addition on the back, which will be an entryway for people to have access to it, access the fire station. Also, they're going to have a little section there, the old tub that's been restored by the firefighters. Excuse me. So work continues, and we'll update you occasionally. There we are. Senator Tran was there to. They had an event at the State House. Not everybody could make it. So they're honoring our veterans and also honoring Jolene, who was there, Constant, who was there, who was our City Hall Employee of the Year, who was recognized by the Rotary Club. So thank you to all our vets. And you know what? Our veterans never stop giving back. They are involved in everything in our city. And we went up to the high school where we went to Mrs. Murphy's AP government class. Kids were unreal. How smart they are. I hope some of them go into government, and I really do. They had excellent questions, and we got to converse about things, and it was an open and honest dialogue about whatever it was they had questions. I gave them my 25-year answer, right? It wasn't a political one. It was just, this is the reality, right? And then we had the Leominster Health Fair. We were there last week live, and we had about 11 different vendors, and they were great. You could find out so much information, from them and from each of them in one location. So it was a great health fair. Thank you to the staff at the health department, and did a great job. And then Senator Tran is there with State Representative Higgins, presenting a check from the state to the city, and the Johnny Appleseed Festival with City Councilor Rick Marchand, City Council President, and also who heads up the Johnny Appleseed Festival, and we got a check for $40,000. Not bad,
That's
huh?
great.
And we keep all our events affordable here. We don't do anything that's going to make it unaffordable for a family to come here and have some fun. I'm trying. And then we went over to last Friday night to the art. Let's see. This is ARC. So I went too far. Let me go back one. So there we are at St. Leo's, setting up. Leominster Art Association was having their gala. And I get to pick my favorite, which is no easy task every year. And so this was when they were setting up. They had a large crowd on Friday night, Saturday during the day, and also Sunday. So thank you to everybody that works so hard to put these events on. These are decades-old events, and it takes a lot of people and a lot of hard work to keep them going. Then we went to ARC last Friday night, where they had the Take Me Out to the Ball Game event, and what a ball we had. No pun intended, but we had a lot of fun. There were raffles and food, and It was a great venue. We were so happy to host ARC of North Central at City Hall. So thank you all, and thank you to everybody that helps out and volunteers at ARC and makes donations to keep the place alive. And then we had the Veterans Chorus over at the Veterans Center. They put a concert on last Saturday. And what a wonderful afternoon. They have a new sound system. They were a little bit worried about how it would, because it was new, they weren't sure how it was going to connect with them. They sounded fabulous. So a great day we had there, and all hosted by our local veterans. And the entertainment was the veterans, each one of them with their various talents. And thanks to the Cultural Council, there's all of the grants that the City of Leominster, through the Leominster Cultural Commission, gives out to all the different groups in the city. And, we started out 25 years ago giving to 2 groups, and look at all the people that we give them to now. I think there were 30-something different groups receiving money. And there's our DPW crew out there, the Forestry Department. It's that time of season to be hanging flags, and they were out there, and it rained pretty hard on Monday, but you know what? They were committed to getting the job done, and we wanted to make sure it got done, and they did a great job, so we thank them. And City Hall welcomes Head Start. They had the guy that does the bubbles there. You ever see him? The guy's fabulous. He puts a kid in the middle of it all, puts a bubble around him. And there we are at City Hall, standing on the stage, taking our picture and giving the peace sign. Had a lot of fun. That was a great event. Kids got a lot of energy, I can tell you that. And the work starts at Mechanic Street Park. They're moving along very quickly down there. Landscape company's a great contractor. We're very happy with them, and it won't be long. This project will be done by the end of May. And it's springtime, which means it's time to pave. We were on West Street today, and they reground it. They're going to put blacktop down, I believe, tomorrow. They're going to shift over to Merriam Ave, finish up over there, and then we'll update you next week on the next piece of the street paving project. And we had a special visitor at City Hall. That's my grandson.
Who's that? Oh, that's your grandson.
That's Donovan. He's looking at me like, what? He's the happiest kid. Him and his brother are the happiest kids. Once he gets a little older, I can't imagine what they'll do. But Jameson entertains Donovan, makes him laugh. But they're the happiest kids. I don't think I've met any kids happier. And that's Donovan over there. He came into my office, and he hasn't figured out where the M&M jar is yet. I'm trying to go back a couple slides. I think I missed one. But anyway, I think we're okay. Let's see. Yeah, I think I got them all. Yeah. And there he is. There's the movie star, Donovan. He's the best.
And how old is Donovan?
He's like 8 months, going on 22 months. And then tomorrow is Jameson's birthday. He's going to be 7. My other grandson is going to be 7.
Wow.
That was fast. He's got a lot of energy. He's like I was when I was a kid. We have 2 speeds. Fast and fastest.
Oh, fastest.
And we never stop, just when we sleep. That's it.
That's it.
So anyway, thanks for. So tons going on, and people should stop by. It's a really interesting place, and if you're interested at all, you can call the Boys and Girls Club. You can come up for a tour.
Yes, exactly.
It's very inexpensive to be a member, but talk about. I mean, you have to raise a lot of money every year.
Every year.
In donations.
Oh, yes.
Every year, it never ends. Even though you get help from other places and grants, it's perpetual. It's an ongoing effort all the time.
Well, in order to offer all of the programming that we do, it is essential to do all of that fundraising, because a lot of the children do not have the opportunity to attend, some of the special summer camps that are offered at some of the schools. They're just very expensive.
So you offset that with
we offset that.
donations and fundraising all the time.
All the time.
But you can always stop up there or go to their website, and they'll tell you how to give back, right? Some periods of time people get into that mode where they're like, you know what? It's time for me to start giving back. I've been busy in my life and bringing my family up. Leaf pickup starts now, so get those leaves picked up. It's going to be nice this weekend. So get out there and get those leaves picked up. We stopped the program at the end of May, so don't call us May 1st. I mean, June 1st. It's too late. Barrett Park Fishing Derby is this weekend, April 13th. So 7 to 11 o'clock, ages 14 and under. Toe Jam Puppet Band presents Toe Jam Variety Show next Wednesday at 4 o'clock at 3 to 4 at the Leominster Public Library. Easter Fun Day is next week, April 18th, Leominster City Hall, 10 to 3. Bring your cameras for pictures with the Easter Bunny. Earth Fest is next week. We'll be doing the show from there. Earth Fest, find out how you can make more eco-friendly choices with some help of Leominster businesses and organizations. That's coming up next Thursday night, 6 to 9, at Leominster City Hall. And then if you're interested in doing a cleanup around the city, let us know. We'll, if you have an hour, no big deal. If you have a couple hours, fine, we'll hook you up. And then the world-famous Taste of Leominster, April 24th, 5 to 8. But I don't want to take any more time away from your event, which is coming up this Saturday, April 13th, 10 to 3. So go fishing first at the fishing derby, and then go down to the 6th annual Central Mass Science Festival, April 13th, 10 to 3, 365 Linda Ave, Leominster.
And I have gifts for you.
You do?
Yes.
We got to wrap it up. So what do you got?
I know. So here we go. So we have salt and vinegar crickets.
Oh my God!
Bacon and cheese
Oh
crickets.
my God! I'm going to eat these. We were just talking
larvettes.
about this the other night. I'm having supper. This is what I'm having for
This
supper
is
today.
more protein.
It is. It's
than beef and
protein.
chicken.
This is
And
on that. What's that diet you're on there, Ronnie? What's that? The keto diet, right? Isn't that on there? Protein. And a lollipop.
And a lollipop with ants.
What's ants? Oh, I can't wait to get to this stuff. Anyway, thank you. Good to see
Thank
you.
you. Nice
Keep
to
up the
see you
good
again.
job. And thank to all the volunteers and everybody that helps out to make Boys and Girls Club a success.
We appreciate them.
We're out of time here at Inside Leominster. Good night. God bless you. Thanks you to the whole crew here at Inside Leominster. Good night. God bless you. Remember, the world is run by those who show up. You got to show up. Good night.